Let's open the book on this. Today in Taipei, privacy concerns are raised after hidden cameras were discovered in a beauty clinic in Bangqiao, New Taipei. I'm Leah.
I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. All right, let's set the stage for this one. First up, hidden cameras found in Taiwan beauty clinic, privacy concerns raised. On May 6th, a hidden camera was discovered inside what looked like a smoke detector at a beauty clinic in Bangqiao district of New Taipei. Health and Consumer Protection officials opened an investigation the same day. The clinic's operator, Irely, a major aesthetic medicine chain here in Taiwan, nearing its 25th anniversary, claimed the video was for quality assurance. Similar devices were also found in Taichung, so this isn't just a one-off. Authorities have referred the matter under two key laws: the Personal Data Protection Act, which is our main privacy law for handling personal information, and the Medical Care Act, which sets rules for how medical services must protect patients.
Keeping it real, that's a no-go for me. Surveillance, meaning any kind of continuous monitoring with cameras or mics inside spaces where people undress or get medical procedures, crosses a bright line. Even if someone calls it quality assurance, you're asking people to trust you with their bodies and their data, and that trust breaks fast when there's a lens in a place it shouldn't be. Why would a clinic put cameras in devices like smoke detectors at all? What's the thinking there?
Irely says it's to check service quality, but that's exactly what investigators will test against the law. Under the privacy rules, you generally need a clear purpose, proper notice, and consent, and the Medical Care Act puts patient dignity first. Even if security is the goal, placement matters. Hallways or reception areas are one thing, treatment rooms are another. So the key question is, did patients know, did they agree, and was this proportionate? We'll have to let the investigation run its course.
Let's not let this one slide by. Clinics are supposed to feel safe. If you're listening and you're unsure about any medical or aesthetic setting, it's fair to ask about camera policies and data handling in plain language. Who sees what, where, and why? That's the heart of informed consent, which just means saying yes with full knowledge of what you're agreeing to. Okay, let's move on. Next up, tragic climbing accident claims life of woman on Taiwan's northeast coast. On May 2nd, a 44-year-old woman, surnamed Tsai, fell about 10 meters while rock climbing at Longdong in Gongliao district. Longdong is a well-known coastal climbing area with steep sandstone cliffs and routes that range from beginner-friendly to very advanced. Rescue crews struggled with the terrain. She was airlifted out, but was pronounced dead at 3 p.m. Ruifang Police, the local precinct responsible for the area, are investigating. Tsai had safety gear and was with her boyfriend and friends, which sadly shows that even experienced climbers face risk.
Yeah, that hits different. As someone who loves the outdoors, I feel this. Longdong's gorgeous, but it's complex. Even with harnesses, ropes, helmets, the variables are real. Rock quality can flake on sandstone, weather shifts fast by the ocean, and a small miscommunication on a belay, that's rope handling, can snowball. Training, checking anchors, and honestly knowing when to back off all matter. But sometimes accidents happen despite doing things right, and that's heartbreaking.
Why do we still see accidents even with all the right gear? Is it mostly rock conditions, human factors, or a mix?
It's a mix. Gear reduces risk, it doesn't erase it. Sandstone can be brittle, some holds shear under load. Coastal wind can swing ropes, sea spray makes routes slick, and a split-second lapse in communication changes everything. Plus, Longdong's route difficulty varies a lot. You can be on a path that feels fine, then the next pitch is a curveball. Real talk. Partnering with experienced climbers, doing double checks, and making conservative calls help. But we should hold space for the fact that even careful people can face bad outcomes. All right, let's roll on. Next up, Child Care Policy Alliance pushes for work hour reforms to support parents. On May 6th, the Child Care Policy Alliance, a coalition of advocacy groups focused on family policy, urged changes to the Gender Equality in Employment Act. That act is Taiwan's law that protects fairness at work and includes family care rights. The proposal, allow parents to work shorter hours without a pay cut with a government subsidy, public funds that help cover the gap, so employers aren't stuck holding the whole cost. The push follows a 2022 survey where 37% of parents said they struggled to find time with their kids. A concrete example: Chunghwa Telecom, Taiwan's major telecom company, already runs a version of this and reports higher worker satisfaction.
That's a story worth telling. If parents with kids up to age 6 can keep their full pay while trimming hours a bit, that's a direct boost to family time. To be clear, retroactive means a rule applies to past months, but here we're talking forward-looking shorter hours with a wage top-up, which could take the pressure off caregivers during those early sleep-deprived years. I'm down for that. Why add a government subsidy at all? Why not just tell companies to offer flexible schedules and call it a day?
Because smaller employers might not afford full pay for fewer hours. The subsidy helps share the cost, so the policy is realistic beyond big firms. It also avoids unintended consequences like quietly sidelining parents. If the government helps float the difference, more companies can say yes. And as we've seen at Chunghwa Telecom, when people feel supported, satisfaction and retention tend to rise, which is HR speak for people staying in their jobs longer.
Switching gears just a little. Next up, Teachers Union demands retroactive increase in special education allowance. On May 6th, Taiwan's National Teachers Union called for the recent raise for special education personnel. That's educators who work with students who have disabilities or exceptional needs, to be applied retroactively. The cabinet previously approved an increase from 1,800 new Taiwan dollars to 2,800 new Taiwan dollars, effective February 2026. But unlike some other teacher pay adjustments announced around the end of 2025, this one wasn't backdated. Retroactive here means paying the higher amount for earlier months too. The union says the mismatch is unfair and could hurt retention of special ed staff.
Yeah, that checks out. Special education work is specialized and demanding, with individualized plans, more coordination, and a higher emotional load. Consistent compensation signals respect. If other packages got retroactive treatment and this one didn't, you can see why educators feel slighted. I'm all about that perspective. Aligning policy details keeps morale steady, which directly supports students who need stable support teams.
Why not just make it retroactive like the others? Is it purely a budget timing thing?
Possibly. Budget calendars and program categories can differ, and sometimes decisions get split across timelines. But the union's core ask is simple: parity. If the goal is fairness across teaching roles, backdating this allowance to match others would send a clear message. We'll see how the cabinet responds. Last up, Taiwan Transport Minister announces imminent payment of delayed T-Pass rebates. On May 6, Transport Minister Chen Shi-kai, the head of the Transportation Ministry, said T-Pass 2.0 rebates, partial refunds for frequent public transport riders, will be paid on May 25th. We're talking 27 million new Taiwan dollars total, covering January through March 2026. The delay happened because the central government budget was stalled. The executive yuan, Taiwan's cabinet, has now approved funds so local governments can apply for reimbursement. Earlier, on March 6, the legislative yuan, our national legislature, allowed early spending on new programs, including 7.52 billion new Taiwan dollars for T-Pass. Despite the hiccup, about 260,000 riders qualified in the first quarter.
That's pretty cool, right? A rebate is simply money back after you've paid, and for commuters, that lands like a grocery bill covered. Why was the cash held up in the first place? Just the budget process moving slow.
Exactly. When the central budget stalls, subsidies and refunds tied to that budget can't flow on schedule. Now that the executive yuan has released funds, city and county governments can file and pass the rebates through. Bigger picture, timelines in government finance directly touch everyday riders, but on May 25th, relief should hit accounts. Not gonna lie, that's timely for a lot of folks. This has been Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.